everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Friday, June 19th. I'm your host, Bree Cox Kennedy, not normally here with you on a Friday, but a little fill in for a friend, why not? We've got a fun show lineup for you today, folks. We've got AAA and Canyon Spirit, a train that runs through the Rockies with Karen Olson and Freshta Shahalimi. Later in the show, we've got Sports Corner with our very own Cole Young, giving you an updates on all things sports. First, folks, of course, we always want to keep you informed, and this one is a little more emotional, coping with the emotions of caregiving. If you've been in the position to provide care for a loved one, you know it can be rewarding, but it also can bring feelings of stress, grief, frustration, guilt, and isolation. Join Social Services and Caregiver Resource Center, OC, on Wednesday, June 24th from 2 to 3:30 p.m. in the Clubhouse 7 Main Lounge for a presentation focused on understanding and managing the emotional side of caregiving. This is a free session and will offer practical tools, coping strategies, and information about available support resources. No registration is required. If you'd like some more information, you can reach out to Social Services at 949-597-4267. We've got some variable temperatures with us this week, folks. We've from the 80s down to the mid to low 70s and then back up to the mids. We are sort of all over the place before we break out into our summertime stable temperatures. Today's high is going to be 74 degrees, low of 59. At least we don't dip below 70. Monday looks like it's going to be the coolest, well, Saturday and Monday, coolest days out of the 5-day stretch. Overnight lows are hovering in the upper 50s. Sunrise this morning was at 5:40 a.m. Sunset will be at 8:03. This is the Colorado River in Needles, California. Sent in to us by Judy Blondo. Thank you, Judy. Please send us your photos. Please email those to us at lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Please send us your name, where the photo was taken from, and in a horizontal format, please. Just one meeting to tell you about before we head on over to the break, and when we come back, AAA and Canyon Spirit will be with me.
Ready for your dream getaway? Whether you're planning a romantic escape, family vacation, or a solo adventure, leave the important details to someone you trust. Your AAA travel advisor. As a AAA member, enjoy travel perks like exclusive member benefits, excellent value, and peace of mind knowing your trip is in good hands. So get to planning, book online, or visit your local AAA branch. Book with AAA Travel and vacation with confidence.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. As we all know, AAA is our one-stop shop for all travel resources. They are teaming up with Canyon Spirit. We welcome Julie Parsons with AAA and Karen Olson with Canyon Spirit. I'll get that out. Hi, ladies. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming back. I got a lot of mental visuals the last time Karen was on the show. She was sharing with us about Rocky Mountaineering, and that's the train that's going through North America and through Canada. And today we're going to talk about the train that is in the U.S.
Correct,
right?
Canyon Spirit.
Exciting, exciting. Julie, AAA members get so much more out of their benefits and savings.
Yes.
Why do we advocate to be a AAA member and then also use them for travel?
Well, I mean, I think one of the main reasons is that because people are a member of the club, then we offer them in return always a member benefit, which is going to be onboard credit with a cruise or tour discounts, additional activity vouchers, and we always have agreed upon something with our tour operators.
Fantastic. And I think you are able to offer things that people wouldn't normally be able to have access to as
That's
well.
true. Yeah,
right?
we do have
In addition
access
to
to
the
all of our
discounts.
tour operators, Rocky Mountaineer, the trains, and everything that is travel. We operate in addition to the contracts that we have with the companies. We also have agreements for special things that they wouldn't get on their own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, like maybe there's some special treatments on Canyon Spirit.
Absolutely. We have a great member benefit with AAA, great partner of ours, number
Yep.
one partner. And it's $200 off per person, or actually per couple. So you won't get that anywhere but at AAA.
Really?
Yep. So if you even try to call direct to us, we're not going to offer that price. You'll have to go to your AAA travel advisor, and they take very good care of you.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I believe, if I remember correctly from our last interview, Canyon Spirit is a little bit newer
It's fairly new.
than
yes.
the Rocky Mountaineer.
Correct. Rocky Mountaineer was founded in 1990 by Peter Armstrong, so family owned and operated, and he had the vision here in the U.S. So we used to be Rockies to the Red Rocks, but now we are Canyon Spirit. We changed our name this season because we've actually extended our departures from Salt Lake City down to Moab, over to Glenwood Springs, and out Denver, or vice versa. So now we're more of a land product, and you can also extend your stay all the way up to Yellowstone from Salt Lake City, and that's a land tour. That's brand new for this season, and it's extremely popular. You can actually only depart in July and or into August, I should say, or September, pardon me. Yeah.
Wow. So, Julie, are you finding that more and more people are learning about the Canyon Spirit?
Yes, anyone
This
that's
is
ever
something
been on the Canadian rail, they are dialed in and they know that there's something new. And I haven't booked the Canyon Spirit yet, but I've done Rockies to the Red Rocks. And yeah, like I was telling you earlier, the Rocky Mountaineer is sold out like way in advance all the time. It's very full. So when people need it, we have to piece it together and try to get them in.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yeah, it's very popular.
So are they now learning about the Canyon Spirit and saying, okay, well, I'll do that as a backup and I'll wait for Rocky Mountaineer
Exactly. And
to
the
open
fact
up.
that you have contracts in Yellowstone is great because
Yeah.
it's really hard to get into Yellowstone. You have to start
truly
like a
is.
year in advance. But if you have contracts and you've got the space, then that's a bonus.
And national parks are very popular. People want to stay closer to home now, and I highly recommend doing Canyon Spirit. It has blown away all of our
sounds
numbers.
mesmerizing.
It is mesmerizing. It's beautiful. It's relaxing. We're a day train only. We offer breakfast and lunch daily on the train. We have nice hosts on board that actually help and assist and talk
Yep,
about
they
what your
make
needs
it.
are. They make it very special.
They do.
If you have a special occasion, you let our AAA agent know, and they will be happy to let us know.
Yeah.
So it's very, very popular. Lots of fun.
Fantastic. Tell us about the different levels or tiers that are available on the trains.
So just for Canyon Spirit, we have our Silverleaf car, and then we have an upgrade to our Premier car. So it's Signature, which would be our Silverleaf, and then Premier is the upgrade. It's a lounge car, and it's about $300 to $400 more per person. Highly recommended. We have a mixologist on board with top shelf alcohol, which is nice, yes. And then we have
Party
charcuterie
in the train.
boards. It is a party on the
is.
train, and we have complimentary alcohol and lunch and dinner on our Silverleaf too. But we just ask that you stay in Silverleaf for your meals, and then you come in the lounge car and just really enjoy the beauty of the national parks.
And that gets extended, maybe you can explain a little bit more to the hotels, right?
Yes, because the train, as you know, is only by day, and then you don't sleep on the train. You sleep in the luxury hotels at night, and so
And
that
so
makes it perfect.
Is that where AAA comes in, Julie? Are you guys booking those hotel rooms then?
Actually, they're part of the package, so based on availability, and we would, call the Rocky Mountaineer and book the whole package, including hotels, and if something wasn't available or they wanted to extend longer, we would add on to that
Fantastic.
and help with their flights.
Yep.
Well, speaking of add-on, I don't think AAA is just local, right? AAA is now
Nationwide.
nationwide or
Yeah.
globally?
Well, globally, yes, but AAA National is in the U.S., and that's kind of what we work for together. But international, there are other AAA brands, but we're not connected with them.
Have you been on the train?
I haven't, not yet.
She's going to be soon, I hope.
Yes, I am.
I mean, honestly, it just sounds so amazing. How many people does the entire train accommodate?
Well, our train for Silverleaf is 56 passengers.
Okay.
So we typically do probably about 52 just for extra space for all. And we have several different trains or concepts that actually can attach to that train. So we can have anywhere from 10 to 12 to even 15 cars. And we've exceeded all of our expectations this season. We were hoping for 13,000 passengers. We've exceeded that by at least another 1,000 or two. So it's
Have
gained
you ever had
popularity.
one party just buy out the entire train?
We do buyouts.
Wow.
Thank you for answering that or asking that question.
Yeah.
Yes, we do buyouts and they're very popular. So family reunions or
Yeah.
corporate meetings or what have you.
Nice.
We absolutely do the
That'd
buyouts.
be awesome.
Okay, well, I'll talk to you about that off screen. 'Cause I
Okay,
don't
let's
want
do that.
anything to leak out.
Okay, you got us between us.
So AAA supports members beyond just the booking,
Oh, sure.
right?
Yeah, I mean, we are full service and, we have when I tell people I work for AAA, they always ask me if I'm like a roadside service. And I'm like, no, that's one of our things. But I'm in travel and we have insurance and claims and life and all in our office. So we take care of everybody and all their needs.
Well, because, sometimes you think of AAA, and myself, I would be guilty of this, is, I've got just the little auto membership card.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't have known that I could take this fantastic buyout train trip
Yes.
with all my friends
Right.
and travel to these amazing destinations that I would suspect would be rather difficult to, book yourself, because how many stops, Karen, are you doing on that Canyon Spirit? Like, you start in one destination, you go to the next. How many stops in between?
Well, let's say we start in Denver. We can start in Denver or Salt Lake City. So we're going to start in Denver. You overnight in Denver. Next morning you get up, you board our train, you get over to Glenwood Springs. You overnight in Glenwood Springs, back on the train again in the morning to Moab, overnight Moab, back on our train to Salt Lake City. Now, next season in 2027, we're going to have a Consist, another train departing the day after that train departs. So if folks want to stay an extra day either in Glenwood Springs or in Moab, they can do so. And then that way they can go up to Salt Lake City and then arrive there and stay another day or two in Salt Lake City. Now, the Mormon church up there is actually opening up next season, so we have thousands of tickets they've given us for folks to actually tour that, which is unheard of.
That's great.
So if you're interested in doing the Mormon church, we highly recommend doing so. We have packages coming up for that as well. So you can either depart in Salt Lake City or you can depart in Denver, whichever you wish to do.
I see, I understand. Are there times of year? Like,
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
when
Good
the-
question.
in the fall, when we've got the colorful leaves coming
Yes.
out, is that a more popular time?
For Canyon Spirit, we're not year-round. Even for Rocky Mountaineer, we're not
Oh, you're
year-round. Because
not?
we're actually
Okay.
pride ourselves on day trains only, so you can see the beauties of both Canadian and Colorado Rockies. So, for example, in Canada, we operate April through October, and then in Canyon Spirit, we operate April through November. So that's new for us this season. We actually added another month to our train departures.
That's great.
For that reason. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, I have to ask, any more expansions on the horizon?
Stay tuned. Yes, we have a great ownership. Like I said, the Armstrong Collective, which is our global name, and then actually we fall under Canyon Spirit. It's going to be U.S. and Rocky Mountaineer is our Canadian. So yes, we'd like to expand more so in the U.S., maybe more national parks. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Yes,
Oh my
leave you on
goodness.
the edge of your seat on that one.
All right, Julie,
Yes.
Karen, thank you so
Thank
much for joining
you.
us today. Appreciate
You're
you being
welcome.
here.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having us.
AAA for
Yes,
rescuing us
our great
sometimes when we
partner.
run out of gas.
Exactly.
On the road.
Yeah, or you need a battery.
That's right.
I need a battery. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
watching This Day on Village TV. We'll be back in a moment.
Hello everyone and happy Friday. I'm Cole Young. Today I planned something a little different than usual, as this is the 200th episode of Sports Corner. Hard to believe this show's been on the air since February of 2022, but it's been a fun journey. And thanks to everyone who has tuned in at any point in the last 200 episodes. For my 100th episode, I went back and looked at some of my favorite moments from this show and re-aired some of those segments. Now, for 200, I decided I wanted to go back and look at some of my favorite sports moments in history. To start this journey, where else would I begin other than the NFL? Not just the NFL, but my personal favorite team across every sport, the Denver Broncos. Back in February of 2016, the Broncos earned their spot in Super Bowl 50 and were set to square off with the top-ranked Carolina Panthers, led by MVP quarterback Cam Newton. That season, the Broncos defense, nicknamed the no-fly zone, led the league in total defense, allowing just 283 yards per game and sacks with 52 that year, carrying the team to a 12-4 record. At the forefront of the defense was edge rusher Von Miller. It was a highly anticipated matchup between a powerful Carolina offense that went 15-1 in the season and one of the greatest defenses of all time. With 6 minutes and 34 seconds remaining in the first quarter, the Broncos sat with a 3-0 lead. On 3rd down and 10, Cam Newton took the shotgun snap. Like he had done all season, Von Miller blew past the right tackle, ripped the ball clean out of Newton's hands, and Malik Jackson recovered the ball in the end zone, giving the Broncos a 10-0 lead. This is one of the most iconic plays in recent Super Bowl history. This strip sack, plus his total 2.5 sacks, including 2 game-changing forced fumbles, helped Miller lead the Broncos to a 24-10 win for their first Lombardi Trophy since the 1998 season. Miller was also named MVP of Super Bowl 50. This game also marked the final game of Peyton Manning's legendary career. Fast forward to January 2018. In an NFC divisional playoff game between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints, one of the greatest moments in NFL history occurred. The Saints took a 24-23 lead over the Vikings with just 25 seconds left in the game. By all means, this game was over. On the last play of the game, Vikings quarterback Case Keenum threw a 27-yard pass to wide receiver Stephon Diggs towards the sideline with all zeros showing on the clock. But Saints safety Marcus Williams dove for the tackle and missed, allowing Diggs to run to the end zone untouched, scoring a touchdown and giving the Vikings the walk-off win. This game was the first in NFL playoffs history to end in a touchdown as time expired. It has since been dubbed the Minneapolis Miracle, and rightfully so. Probably my favorite part of this moment was Joe Buck's reaction live on air. I highly suggest looking it up and listening to it. To wrap up the best NFL moments, I thought I'd include one that isn't necessarily a moment, but rather an entire game. In a mid-November Monday Night Football game in 2018, the Kansas City Chiefs traveled to the Los Angeles Coliseum to take on the Rams. Little did I know this one random Monday in November would be cemented in my memory forever. In this game, the Rams outlasted the Chiefs 54-51. The two teams combined for 105 points, including 21 scored by the two defenses, and the game set numerous other records. The highest scoring Monday Night Football game ever, the highest score by a losing team in NFL history. To date, the Chiefs are the only team in NFL history to score at least 50 points and lose, and the first NFL game where both teams topped 50 points. The game also saw 6 lead changes, including 4 in the fourth quarter alone. The two teams combined for 1,001 total yards of offense. Rams quarterback Jared Goff threw for 413 yards and 5 touchdowns with no interceptions. Tight end Gerald Everett had 49 yards on 3 receptions, 2 of which went for touchdowns in the fourth quarter, including what would ultimately become the game-winning score. Patrick Mahomes threw for a career-high 478 yards, the second highest single-game total in Chiefs history. He also threw for 6 touchdowns, but was intercepted 3 times and fumbled twice. Tight end Travis Kelce also had 10 receptions for 127 yards and a touchdown, and wide receiver Chris Conley added 7 receptions for 72 yards and 2 touchdowns. Basically, everyone on both teams was scoring, and it was the most exciting NFL game I've ever watched. Being a Southern California native, I had to include the 2002 MLB World Series. Since they became a franchise in 1961, the Angels had never even been to a World Series. On the other hand, the San Francisco Giants had won 5 to this point, but none since 1954. So, 2 teams with long championship droughts both found their way to the World Series. To make the stakes even higher, this series went all the way to Game 7. The game was tied 1-1 entering the 3rd inning, and that's when history was made. Left fielder Garrett Anderson hit a bases-clearing 3-run double to push the Angels to a 4-1 lead, and no one knew it then, but that would be the final score of this game. The Angels won Game 7 4-1 to claim their franchise's first and only World Series championship to date. John Lackey became the first rookie pitcher to win a World Series Game 7 since 1909. The great Garrett Anderson, the hero of Game 7, just recently passed away at the age of 53, and he will be remembered forever. If you've watched any of the 200 episodes of this show, you know that I love the Olympics. There's so many incredible and historic Olympic moments throughout history and throughout my lifetime, so it was hard to pick just a few, but I managed to narrow it down to just a few favorites. First, in the most recent 2024 Paris Olympics, swimmer Katie Ledecky cemented her legacy when she became the most decorated American woman in Olympic history. After winning silver in the 4x200 meter relay, she earned her 13th Olympic medal, the most all-time in women's Olympic history. She now holds 8 golds, 4 silvers, and 1 bronze. Next, it wasn't just one moment, but an entire Olympic career. Simone Biles is the most decorated gymnast in Olympic history, and her final Olympic appearance is an iconic one. In 2016, she led the final 5 to a team gold medal and won individual gold in the all-around, vault, and floor exercise, plus bronze on the balance beam. Then, in 2020, Biles won team silver with the Fighting 4 and an individual bronze on the balance beam. However, before the team and individual all-around finals, Biles shocked the world when she withdrew from these events due to her mental health. The world watched and waited, eagerly anticipating her return to the Games in 2024. There, Biles made a triumphant return, leading the Golden Girls to Team Gold. She won individual gold in the all-around and vault and claimed silver in the floor exercise, cementing her status as one of, if not the greatest Olympian in American history. Lastly, for the Olympics, I had to include the most recent gold medal moment. Exactly 46 years to the day since the Miracle on Ice, the U.S. men's Olympic hockey team took the ice to face off with their bitter rivals, Team Canada, with a gold medal on the line. Matt Boldy got on the board for Team USA just 6 minutes into the game to give the United States an early lead. Canadian defenseman Cale Makar then scored the equalizer with 1:44 left in the second period to tie the game at 1 apiece going into the second intermission. The moment that will go down in history as one of the greatest ever in sports came in overtime. Jack Hughes scored the golden goal with 1 minute and 41 seconds to go in overtime to win the 2026 Olympic gold medal in men's hockey for the United States. With teeth missing, Hughes smiled a bloody smile with the American flag draped around his neck. I still get the chills thinking about the ending of this game. Now, moving on to the NBA, a lot of great moments in history come to mind, but none greater than the late Kobe Bryant's final game on April 14, 2016. After 20 seasons in the NBA, all with the Los Angeles Lakers, Bryant took the court one final time against the Utah Jazz in the last game of the regular season. With the entire Staples Center crowd standing, Bryant made a three-pointer with 59 seconds left. He hit another with 31 seconds left to play, putting the Lakers ahead 97-96. He scored 23 points in the fourth quarter alone. He finished his night and career scoring 60 points and leading the Lakers to a 101-96 win. It was the absolutely perfect ending to an incredible career and a moment I'll remember forever. Lastly, it was virtually impossible to pick my favorite moments across college sports, but somehow narrowed it down to 3. First, I had to include my alma mater. On New Year's Day 2007, the Boise State Broncos made history. Heading into the Fiesta Bowl, Boise State were massive underdogs to the Oklahoma Sooners. Nobody expected this scrappy team from Idaho to compete with a powerhouse like Oklahoma, but they did just that. With just 18 seconds remaining, Boise trailed 35-28. It was 4th and 18, so the odds were stacked against them. Then, the impossible happened when the Broncos called for a trick play. Quarterback Jared Zabransky connected with Dryson James, who caught the ball at the 35-yard line. James quickly flipped the ball to Jared Rabb on a hook and ladder play, and Rabb ran it in for a touchdown with just 7 seconds remaining to tie the game. The game went to overtime, and Oklahoma's Adrian Peterson scored to give the Sooners a 42-35 lead, which put all the pressure back on Boise. They managed to score, but instead of playing it safe and going with the game-tying PAT, Boise rolled the dice yet again with another trick play. Zabransky faked a throw and secretly handed the ball off behind his back to Ian Johnson, known as the Statue of Liberty play, and Johnson ran it in, giving the Broncos a miraculous 43-42 win. It was one of those games that any college football fan will remember exactly where they were when it happened. Next, the 2023 Women's College Basketball Championship game. Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes were set to square off with Angel Reese and the LSU Tigers for a national title. That season, Caitlin Clark became known as one of the greatest players in both men's and women's college basketball history. In that 1 year, she became the all-time Division I leading scorer for men and women, surpassing 3,951 career points, passing LSU's Pete Maravich. She set the women's Division I career scoring record, beating Kelsey Plum's previous record of 3,527. Clark was the single-season points leader with 1,234 points. She had the most 30-point games by any male or female Division I player in the past 25 years. Safe to say, she was dominant. However, that didn't stop LSU. Angel Reese finished the championship game with a double-double, scoring 15 points and securing 10 rebounds, and tallied a season-high 5 assists, and was named the most outstanding player of the Final Four as LSU defeated Iowa 102-85. Their 102 total points were the 4th most they had scored in a game during that season, and the most that had ever been scored in an NCAA Division I women's championship game. Iowa's 85 points also marked the most points ever scored by the losing team in a championship game. Additionally, LSU's 59 points in the first half marked a new NCAA women's championship game record. This will go down as one of the most iconic games in March Madness history. Lastly, who could forget the kick six? In November 2013, the 78th Iron Bowl between Auburn and Alabama kicked off. The number 1 ranked and 2-time defending champion, Alabama Crimson Tide, were massive favorites over number 4 ranked Auburn, but rankings didn't matter that night. After falling behind in the second quarter and then again in the fourth, Auburn rallied to tie the game at 28-28 with 32 seconds left. After the ensuing kickoff, Alabama quickly moved to the Auburn 38-yard line, at which point the clock had ran out, seemingly sending the game to overtime. Alabama coach Nick Saban challenged the timekeeping call, and 1 second was put back on the clock after video review. The Crimson Tide lined up for a potential game-winning 57-yard field goal, but what happened next shocked the world. The kick was short, allowing Auburn's Chris Davis, who had been positioned near the goal line, to catch the ball just in front of the goalposts. Davis ran across the entire field through players from both teams to the opposite end zone, improbably scoring the winning touchdown for Auburn on the final play of the game. Many sports writers consider this the single greatest moment in college football history. I could go on for days about more of my favorite sports moments in history, but that's all the time we have for this week. That was a fun trip down memory lane, and again, I want to thank you for tuning into Sports Corner over these past 200 episodes. I truly enjoy doing this show and discussing sports with you every Friday. Be sure to tune in next time for more news, updates, and highlights from all across the sports world. I'm Cole Young, thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to the next 200.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Let's take a look at our Friday and Saturday night movie previews. Tonight's movie is Catch Me If You Can, starring Leo DiCaprio, sponsored by Harvard Eye Associates. This is a great movie. I remember this from a long time ago. A runaway teenager lives an exciting life by forging checks and impersonating several professions, but his fraudulent activities soon attract the attention of the FBI. And Saturday's movie is Fury, kind of both ends of the spectrum here. It's a little more serious. This is a 2014 film starring Brad Pitt, brought to us by City of Hope. It's about a grizzled tank commander who makes tough decisions as he and his crew fight their way across Germany in April 1945. Both movies are shown at 2 p.m. with subtitles and 6 p.m. without subtitles. That's going to do it for this episode of This Day. From all of us here, we wish yours a beautiful one. See you on Monday.